at Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies. He works with the Department of Management Studies, University of Mumbai. Yes, sir. The next speaker is Dr. Arun Kumar Sharma. And we are happy to have Anjali Prasad, sir, back on the panel. And there's one more eminent speaker on this panel is Ninad Karpe. So may I request our moderator, Dr. Danait ma'am, to please proceed and take us through the deliberations of this particular discussion. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm highly privileged to be chairing or moderating this session. Last session, why do I say so? Because for those of who are patrons of classical music, you would know that Bhimsen Joshi is always invited, used to be invited at last, as a last speaker. So we don't have one, but we have 5 Bhimsens is what I would say. And therefore, I'm highly privileged to be given this opportunity to moderate this session. So as the panel, as the topic says, Sculpting Excellence in Industry, Academia, Collaboration, New Frontiers. Let's hope that we make this session a little bit different from what has already been discussed in the last 1.5 days. So let me start with one example from my experience in the industry for the last 20-25 years. So I was primarily in R&D, and we were developing a product focused on sustainability. So we had to source a raw material from a sustainable source, which is an agricultural residue. So while we had a fantastic product in the lab, when we decided to scale it up, what happened? We started going to the supplier and asking him to scale up that raw material for us, because without that, we cannot develop a product. We were situated in Mumbai. The supplier was situated in Punjab. When we went there, his first response was, कि मुझे अभी बहुत चेंज करना पड़ेगा, मुझे इतना इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, आप कितना ऑर्डर दोगे, right? So that was our first hurdle, because what we realized is that a supplier, especially an MSME supplier, is not interested in your R&D or sustainability. He is only interested in how much are we going to place the order. So there was so much reluctance that it took us almost 8 to 10 months to make him change and give us the raw material to meet our specifications. Now, why am I telling you this story? Now that I'm in this side and I'm in academia, I'm asking myself this question. Did we not think of going to academia to help us with this problem and work with the supplier? Frankly, no. Why? Because of the perception. The perception was that it could take a long time for us to explain things to academia and then for academia to make it possible. So perception is what is very important, and that is something I felt that we need to change. Second is, did we think about startups? Could we have done it better? Frankly, we did not. Why? Because I still believe that apart from AI, ML and all those deep tech, etc., startups in the core manufacturing, that is electrical, mechanical, or the chemical industry, have no visibility. One thing is they may be very few, and even for those few, there is not much visibility. So one lacks perception and one lacks visibility, and because of it, if we don't change that, then it will be very difficult to really make disruptive innovations or really increase the pace of new innovations and achieve our objective of R&D, academia, and industry collaboration. And I believe that creating these next generation startups is the need of the hour. And with this short introduction, I would now ask our 5 panelists, esteemed panelists, to give their views on what could we do to address this, and what are their views on addressing this gap. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, rather good afternoon now. We have to start in the morning. But I will be very brief. This is not a commercial for what I'm doing, but at 100X we are a VC firm, and we have funded 140 startups in the last 5 years. We get 10-12,000 pitch decks every year. So we do see a lot of pitch decks. In the last 2 hours I was here, I could have seen 4 startups pitching to me, but that's okay. I'll catch up later in the day. So, your point is valid. What startups are doing is different from a typical linear research and development model, which you do production and then you look at how to market and scale it. Startup look at it in a chain model. This is what is the problem, find a solution, then figure out the rest. Now that's a thinking process which R&D models in India are not used to. And as all of us know, in India, government does a major R&D. So can startups do this? Certainly they can. We see so many startups doing so much stuff. I can go on and on. From manufacturing as well. We have a startup called Think Metal. In each area, there is a young girl or boy thinking of a problem, not as a problem, but thinking of a problem of saying that this problem is looking for solution. That's the difference between R&D model and a startup model. And they break, they disrupt, they may shut down, but there are people like us funding them. We fund even at early stage. We have funded at PowerPoint some of the startups, college kids. So the beauty of this is the whole ecosystem has seen such a dramatic change. 20 years back, if someone wants to start a business, it was very tough. You had to go to a bank, you had to mortgage your assets, father had to give guarantee. Today, nothing of that kind. You have VCs chasing you for money. Capital is chasing ideas today. It's a very different world. Earlier, ideas was chasing capital. What is stopping them? Nothing. It's just you have to keep breaking barriers. All what you said, 100% startups can solve. Guaranteed. There's no problem at all. They'll first look at the solution, then come to the problem. I'm being brief because, we are running late and, I thought I'll just speak for 1 or 2 minutes each.
Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Prasad.
Yeah, first of all, I come from the industry. I come to the academy, and I see that when I have to leave this panel, I'm actually getting into the panel. Yeah, the first thing is that we need to really adhere to time. That is very important, because even in research or development, this will be very important. I'll narrate some stories around innovation and how this can help. I went to see this the World Cup 2020 match. And before that, I wanted to buy the T-shirt. So I went to the Adidas part because they were the one who were allowed for the Indian T-shirts, and I bought that at 5,000 rupees. Coming from the textile background, I know the cost is 300 rupees, right? But when I went there into the stadium, and then I saw that the amount of sweat and, in the daytime, you can imagine in a stadium, but I felt quite comfortable because it was light, it has breathability, it has some special treatments done. But coming from the chemical background itself, so I know that the cost of the treatment will not be more than 4 rupees. Cost of the whole fabric will be not more than 300 rupees. So they're making 10 times multiple. And that's where the innovation comes in. So you bring in that value. The problem is that in the whole innovation value chain, the money is made where? When you look at any industry, the value chain, the raw material suppliers are struggling, the manufacturers are struggling, end of the day, also the retailers are struggling. Because if I want to buy, say again an example of a t-shirt in a retail store, if I'm spending say about $100, $40 is the retail space cost. So even the retailer is not earning much. So the main game now would be how do we create the retail space or a marketplace created in the whole value chain. So the research has to really look at each and every value chain of the whole article which you want to go for and where you can do the research. And keeping in mind 2 or 3 things, very important. One is, can you make it safely? So either production has to be safe or your raw material has to be safe, it can be recyclable and you don't generate waste. So that's one thing which is catching up. If you look at the future innovation topics, you'll find this is one of the most important one of sustainable production, sustainable innovation also coming into play. There could be 3D printing, nowhere here you can see any center of excellence of 3D printing. You'll find in China, they can even print the tissues, but we can't even print normal advanced materials. Because the polymer science is going to be another world. We say that only 2% of this whole polymer science is not even exploited yet at the moment. And when you look at now going forward, the safe production and research towards making it safer, how can make it more efficiently? You have, say, in the chemical space, you have big reactors, but there's no continuous reactors going on. So you need to make innovation around processes, not just on the product. So that's another topic which you need to look at. But the value enhancement, I told you the story of the Adidas t-shirt. This is where the game is also important for us. You do a research, but it doesn't have a value enhancement, it doesn't help you. The other important thing which you'll be shocked now, because when you look at the patents which are filed from India, is only 1% of the world. Only 1% of the world. And that's where the problem is, that in this whole interaction between industry, research, and the institute, in the academia, there is no innovation portal at the moment available. And I would advise that there has to be a portal which can communicate the research of a student and the college to the industry, and there has to be a legal element. I was talking to the ministry. I was with the chemicals joint secretary and also with the textile joint secretary. I put in this idea. They like the idea. But the question is, how do we take it forward? Because it has to come from the government. If I want to start something like this, no institutes will come to me, because if it is a government part, they will have some kind of a, assurance that you can go for it, this kind of innovation portal. So innovation portal becomes very important part in terms of getting these patents away. I was in the IIT in Mumbai and talking to the professors. They said 1,500 patents, the research work is there, and none of them are patented. They're all lying in the drawer catching dust. So what happens to the research? You do a research, but is it been converted into a patent, or you're protecting the IP, or you're actually transferring it to another level? So there are many things which is important. If I ask maybe many students, today evening I'm in ICT, for example. If I look at the projects which is given to the M.Tech students or the PhD Tech students or the PhD students, there is no, industry in that selection of the project. The professor thinks that he has got the best, he wants to continue his work, so he can keep on adding some projects to 10 students to continue his work. And that's where it ends. And we need to really change this whole story. And I've been always advising, where are you, where is the industry? There on the board of studies and also board of the project setting. This is critical. Funding is not a problem. Funding industry can give. But industry also have to be very sure that they are securing the patents. They have this NDAs and all those agreements at place, and the legalities are placed, and then things will start moving. So there are many aspects to it. I mean, we can have a long debate on this topic, but I'm heading about 14 countries now under me, and every country they can see that there is some big progression. And we are missing also in many areas a lot of things around value chain. Even in India, acetic acid can't be made. So you have to still import it. Even the paracetamol, this raw material which is there in the daily usage of medicines, you have to import the raw materials. So the scale is not there for the base material. We can only play around. If you want to make an industry work, we'll be in the specialty area. And that's where a lot of additional things are required. I mean, you can ask later on some questions to me, but I can give it to the next panelist then. Thank you very much.
Yes, Dr. Arun Kumar. Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you the organizers for inviting me here. I'm coming from a place which was considered to be neglected 10 years back, Northeast. And we have been talking about many things from yesterday. We are talking about happy country. We are talking about so many things. So the happiest place in India is Northeast, right? And we have Scotland over there. We have Switzerland over there. We have all European countries over there. We have Mongolian country, Japan over there. So everything is there. So, and I'm from an institute, and thanks to Government of India to create this kind of institute called Northeast Center for Technology, Application and Reach. In short, nectar. We know what is nectar. And we find out where are the nectars in Northeast. And we also know how to extract that nectar. But we're looking for you to come and extract it. We have enough nectar over there. I give you 2 words, you please go through your mobile. And we'll discuss maybe more details on these 2 words later on. Kidajadi, Kedajadi. And one is Gensing, Gensing. I will come back to more details about that if somebody, please go through that. What is the importance of these two words, and which is available extensively in Northeast. So when we talk about this technology, reaching technology, we talk about the frontiers technology, we talk about the future technology, we talk about the industry, academia, and all these things. I'm an academician. I'm very closely connected to industry. And I, to some extent, become non-profitable businessman now. Because we have been trying to take this technology from the industry and escalate this technology in a large way for the societal development. I will quickly give 2-3 case studies because we have short of time. We are hungry also. You know that we're talking about organic farming. The Kirloskar group told about that. They have been doing a lot. Of late, we have been working under a scheme under the PM Divine called Prime Minister's Development Initiative in Northeast. So that in that we are trying to build 250 farm labs. We know that by default, by God's grace, Northeast is organic. And in this 250 farm labs, means we'll have everything over there. We will be trained 25,000 organic farmers in entire Northeast. But we have been talking about this organic and all these things, but we're not talking about very important aspects that how the farmers can be benefited doing organic farming is the carbon credit. We have a few people mentioned yesterday about the carbon credit. There are 4 or 5 different parameters. I don't want to go details about that. If we satisfy these parameters very critically, a farmers can earn 3 to 4 carbon credit in 1 acres of land. And you know that if we sell that carbon credit, this 1 carbon credit is $8 at this moment. So the investment what we are going to do, if you do it in a proper way, we can get back all the money, even more than that. I'm talking about 25,000 trained organic farmers. Let's say 25,000 acres of land. So think about that, about the carbon credit that we're going to earn out of that. So there are lots of examples. I can share just one how we disseminate technology and how the social entrepreneur we have generated over there. One guy from Maharashtra, he worked for a long time in Tripura and so far away from the Agartala main city. So he wanted to start something. So he came to us and we told him that you try to find out that what are the availability over there. And you know that in many places in Northeast, pineapple fruits are hugely available and very, very tasty. So we provided him some technology which can peel out the pineapple, slice it, then canning it with more shelf life. But what we do, we try to do the testing from a well-recognized lab in the world. So he did this testing from the Germany. And the same company where he did the testing, they ordered him 2 containers of canned pineapple in a year. 2 containers mean 12 tons. So from that, he is now supplying, if you go to any big mall, anywhere in the country, he is the supplier of Golden Crown, this canned food in all over the country. He is doing in Tripura, which is 4.5 hours away from the Agartala city. Because of the connectivity, we are very good now. So there are lots of examples, I always say proudly that we took, our Honorable Prime Minister also mentioned in the Parliament, we took saffron for the first time from Kashmir to Northeast, and our saffron is in the market now. We gave the new name, Astalakshmi Kesar. So, and there are some technology which I have seen, which we should immediately take it anywhere in the country. Like we talk about leather, animal leather. So the animal leather, I don't know how many of you know that. For production of 1 meter of animal leather, I'm not talking about the environment part and all these things. It takes, the manufacturing cost comes around 600 rupees. So we have technology in our country which can produce vegan leather from the rotten fruits which we get in the market. We can convert these rotten fruits into leather, and the manufacturing cost comes around only 180 rupees per meter. So the first plant is going to come out in Nagpur. The second plant would be there in Mizoram, which we are going to take it. So there are many technology which is developed in the country, which we connect to the industry and take it in a big way. We can do a lot. I will not, there are many examples. I will not take much time, but we can discuss because we are running out of time. So thank you again. I'll come back again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. It was very encouraging to hear these live examples of what you're doing. Thank you very much. I go over to you, Dr. Srinivasan. What was your views on this topic?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I'd like to take a couple of words from what Anjani sir said about value and product. Now, since morning we are listening, is it necessary to reinvent our business model, especially when you talk about academia collaboration with the industry? Is it necessary to reinvent? Because since morning we are also talking about VUCA, Bani, Tuna, all the jargons since morning. Every businesses need to be reinvented. They are reinvented. Today also the inconvenient truth, I saw the newspaper Hindustan Time first page talks about 36% people are not placed in IIT Mumbai. Today's newspaper. Having a few hundred faculties. Whether can you able to deliver? Because the conventional business model, what we talk about, that academia, whenever you go to any institute, they say students are my customer. If the students are your customer, what is your product? Now I can able to give another school of thoughts. Take it your customer is your industry. Right? Your product is your knowledge, your academia, the degree so called. Now can I able to offer the product as it is to the industry, what they want? Now I'll keep this question aside for a couple of minutes. Let's say today what is product is all about. I will share the live experience which happened 2 days before to me next to my neighbor. He said, sir, I got something like he is wearing some Apple Watch. He said in the night he couldn't able to sleep properly because the oxygen level gone down. And that report came from Apple report to his, on his email, and that he went to the doctor and he could able to diagnose because he couldn't able to sleep because of the pet tissue allergy. If it is only a company watch talk about timing, the company should have given the watch. But the company is not given the watch, he is giving to your healthcare. That means the company is going beyond to address your basic product. If Academia Institute, I can give hundreds of examples. If you are a tractor manufacturer company, earlier days tractors are only for farm equipments. But today customer doesn't want the tractors, the farmer. Then what they look for, they want soil prediction. They want to know the seed optimization. They want to know they can able to operate the tractor without his power. And they want air condition. That means today the product should be go beyond. That means my product should have a internet Bluetooth connectivity beyond from my core product of farm equipments. I should have the technology component. Same thing for Blubot or Hublot, or I can give any number of products, even including your apparel. Ralph Lauren, it talks about technology. Now, can I able to give similar product to my customer when I offer the so-called engineering degree or management degree? Can I give this product to industry? Industry doesn't want that. They will say that. I'll tell you what happened last 2 years. We could able to train 2,000 plus bankers. Why we should do beyond that industry collaboration to bring it? Because today if you feel Academy Institute to take students' fee as the core income may not be the viable business model in long run. Let's try to create an additional source of revenue. Probably I'm sure Unni sir will talk about that. How can you able to take additional income revenue? Not only for revenue side, it also talk about patent research, consulting, MDP training. These are all the other source of institutes where they can able to create. Is it first time are we doing? No. Nike the brand, Andrew Bowerman is a sportsman. He could able to create a Nike brand to the world. Sun Microsystem, that is Stanford University Network. Products are coming from university. But only in India we feel research is separate, institutes are separate, publications separate. Why we can't able to bring together? Today we don't want anybody basic core product. If the product comes together, it should embed it with all the components together. And how are you going to build it? West may think different. Because even if you see that all the ranking also, ma'am, that QS ranking, they give 50% weightage on this. Whether right or not, we are not questioning. But inconvenient truth, we are not there in the top 100. Same thing since morning I'm hearing happiness index. We are not there. Today newspaper, Finland, 12-year-old killed in a shootout happened today in Helsinki. That is the population of less than 55 lakh. Ahmedabad smaller than that. How they can be happier? You know, if you go to Finland, their divorce rate is 62%. India is 1%. Probably yes. We don't divorce more, so we are not happy. They are keep on. No, we don't know. That's what the index talks about. It is all about perception, all about interpretation. How do you people in for it? But in ground reality, what we are going to do with academia? Probably when I get next second round, I'll discuss it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Srinivasan, for a very energetic conversation and energetic thoughts, which I'm sure everybody has, you can see from the claps that they're really resonating with it. So from this, I'll go over to Dr. Unnikrishnan. Sir, you are from the government. Okay. I want you to tell us, we had someone from industry, somebody from venture capital, somebody from academia. So what do you see as your role? And I know AICT is doing a lot of new things. What do you see as your role in this entire domain?
So thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this forum. See, actually, as Madam rightly told, we are trying to do a lot of things because as the title itself says, industry, academia collaboration, there strongly needs a clear definition of what is this industry, academia collaboration. Because when it comes to reality, it's all, our technical education system itself is a perception-oriented system. Because students feel only these are the companies, only very few are there in their kitty, these are only the companies. The companies may feel these are only the colleges where good students are there. And teachers also, they have their own perception. So the entire academia is revolving around this. When we come to AICT, we have 3,233 engineering colleges, 2,900 polytechnic colleges. All put together, we are yearly, the intake comes about 11 lakhs of graduate engineers and 9 lakhs of diploma engineers. So almost about 20 lakh students are coming in. Out of that, about 11 lakhs are going out. That is, they're completing the course in 4 years or 3 years' time. So this is the number that is coming out. Now, when we speak about the startups and all, sir, no college never promoted any startups. That's what I would like to see. I am from Kerala. And one startup guy who is famous from Kerala is Baiju Ravindran of Baiju's. All of you might be known. He's from Government Engineering College, Kannur. And never in the college website, they told he is from my college. Always, they all will be boasting, this is the highest CGPA our students got, this is the highest package our student got, these are the companies who recruits our student, but the colleges, because they never, I don't know what is the reason. And the only way in which colleges should think in that way, I feel, is that NAC and NBA now should put some score. Like if so many startups have come out of your institution, then you may get so much of score. This is the only way in which the startups and all could be encouraged. And as far as the technical education is concerned, the reality is, madam, sir, some unknown force creating some unknown bus, and that is driving the entire system. Up to 2016, mechanical was the most sought after branch. Suddenly, 2017, who told what we don't know? Everyone switched over to electronics, mechanical dropped like anything. 2019, we had a high power committee which told, get aside all the conventional thing. Now AI is going to rule the world. And people frightened the general public like anything. Like in 2019, 300 plus colleges started a BTech in AI. 300 plus colleges started BTech in AI with the very old infrastructure, very old teacher, very old lab, no curriculum, and these students are passing out this year. 2023, we could see 300 colleges having their final year students in BTech in AI and ML. Can we say, are they the experts? Are the industry ready to take them? So this is the bus. Suddenly then, 2 years back it came, now it is India Semiconductor Mission and we want so many semiconductor engineers. AICT was told, immediately create the curriculum. We dragged academicians from IIT, NIT, industry and all. We made a beautiful curriculum in 3 months' time. Honorable Minister launched the curriculum. It came in all the papers. AICT launched the BTech curriculum in VLSI design. Immediately after 1 month, some companies told, no, this is not up to the mark. This is not the curriculum what we want. We want the curriculum something else. So now we are in the in the process of revamping the curriculum because now those students are in the first year only. First year, whichever be the course, it is physics, chemistry, maths, and some communication skills and all. So this is the buzz that is happening around the academia system, and it is high time. I appeal to organizations like BTF, like we should come forward and streamline the system because finally, sir, madam, we are playing with the dreams of some poor parent. That's it, because it is their lifetime investment on their son or daughter, which we are experimenting by showing dreams like this may happen, this will happen. Thank you. That's all from my end, and I'll continue if further questions will come.
So, Dr. Unnikrishnan, you really touched upon a very emotional aspect, which is we are playing with hope. I mean, parents really want, to do the best for their students. Are we really doing the right thing by making this, as you said, within 3 months you made a course, and the very important point which you said is that a new course came up with a new name, but only the name and everything was new, everything else was old, right? So I think you touched upon a very, very important point. And I would now ask one question, and I leave it to any one of you to pick it up. That if I say that, okay, what is one idea you could think of that how could we really, something very tangible, a takeaway, what could we really do? Like, Mr. Prasad talked about innovation portal, and I know AICT also came up with an internship portal, right? And so could you come up with any one example from your experience with dealing with startups? What did they do right? And how fast was their incubation period that they really came out with a very good, came out of their product which everybody looked up to. So could you give us one example of what did they do really right?
Sure. I'll say in 1 minute, but Dr. Unnikrishnan, I visit a lot of colleges, and whenever I'm in the class, ask them, how many of you want to become startup founders? Today, 60 to 70% raise their hands. 10 years back, only 10% is to raise. Balance 40% asked, what did you do? They said, we'll work and then join a startup. So the culture is seeped in, even in smaller places. I've been to Kolhapur, smaller places. I think one thing they can do is just promote startups. Promote entrepreneurship development as a curriculum, have an incubation cell, all of the above. India has the opportunity of leapfrogging. All what you see, the problems, startup founders can solve them. And colleges and academic, there are a lot of things you can do, but one thing they can do strongly is startups should be in the mainstream. Promoting entrepreneurship should be in the mainstream, and that can make a big difference.
Thank you very much.
I'll give an example. I was in Portsmouth University. They do physiological enhancements. 600 students comes out of it. And when I was listening to what is the product and where is the customer, end of the day. So in that institute, all the Olympians, they come there for their physiological enhancement. The customer is already there in the institute. And that's where I feel a lot of things have to be done to make this as an experience center, just not an R&D. And this will change the world. And I've seen that they have got all assimilations of, different conditions of, climate, depth, heat, everything. I went for testing of my products, and they narrated a story about a hockey women's team from Netherlands. They were always winning in the European conditions, but in the tropical conditions, they were never winning. So they did a research and say that if you cool down the body temperature, and they put the ladies, from the Netherlands hockey team, dips before the match and during the interval into an ice bath, 5 degrees centigrade. They controlled it based on the size, the tubs also. Because if someone tried, then they got the cramps. So they really did a great job by innovating the whole story in a manner that they started winning now in the tropical conditions. Because the body temperature was so important to delay the fatigue and the sweat generation. So they do a lot of work there. And this is one example I can tell you that if you can make your institute like an experience center where you can do a piloting, it will have a lot of value.
Thank you. So, Dr. Sharma, I wanted to ask you that, you spoke about a couple of examples. So what do you think that really made them hit it off? What was their real success criteria?
Yeah, I will take it up from what Sridharji told yesterday in his speech. We are basically we are in agriculture. 70% of India lives in villages, and then he also mentioned 80% students are in the village. So we need to do something there. Then only what we talk about this Viksit Bharat. There we need to develop over there. Let me give you one example and the market size of that. You know that what is the sports that we play? Like cricket is now everywhere in the country. And the cricket bat, a handle of the cricket bat made of cane. And this comes from Andaman and Nicobar Island. Everything does in Kashmir. And guy in Kashmir earn 250, its market size is 250 CR per month. Right? So the villagers has got all facility in Andaman to just these things. And they do the treatment process over there and then they take it up to the Kashmir. So such kind of, if we know what is the potential in the villages, and we know how much the kids over there are expert, means non-technically. So we need to provide them skill, we need to give them some skill manpower to become expert in that particular section. And then, for example, I give you one example, because we talk about green, and because Maharashtra is also one of the things. The green energy, when you talk about, is nothing but we get it everything from bamboo, right? And then rice husk and all these things yesterday. But we're not talking about one important thing over there, is that in bamboo, where we make ethanol, but we get from bamboo is a very important, this is a hemicellulose. And if you convert that hemicellulose, you can have the sugar-free sugar. That technology is also available. So, and where you get the bamboo? It's in Maharashtra, and 66% of India's bamboo lies in Northeast. So I had a proposal to our Honorable Minister, Road and Highways. So give me 100 kilometers of highways. I will plant bamboo tree all throughout. So there are three things that we are going to gain out of this. Bamboo is, root of the bamboo is very strong. So at the Northeast is heavy rainfall. So you can reduce the erosion, soil erosion. And it grows 6 centimeters per day. So within 3 years it gets matured. And if you get technology to make it charcoal, whose calorific value is 6,700 kilocalorie per kg, many times more than the coal. We have 2,500 tea gardens where the factories are using coal. We're talking about environment. We can convert all this to the bamboo-based pure this fuel. And at the same time, if you go a little bit far, we have the technology. From the charcoal, you make it activated carbon, and you get all cosmetic items out of that, which is very demanding all throughout the world. So such kind of things, we need to take it up from the village to this point that we need to make it up.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sharma. So Dr. Srinivasan, with your experience in academia, and I know, like Mr. Karpe said, that entrepreneurship is taught a lot in the management schools, right? Since we are with an engineering audience, engineering colleges, how do you think we can include entrepreneurship and encourage more and more entrepreneurship in the engineering education?
Entrepreneurship, if you talk about nothing, engineering with entrepreneurship. Because I have done a little bit research on it. If you go to world class, India's the small, okay, I'll put it in different way, you can able to understand that. Earlier the jargons is supposed to be, think global, act local. That is a jargon widely used in the, everywhere they talk about, right? Think global, act local. But today the jargon could be, act local, we can compete global. That regionalization is very important. Because earlier days, the business concepts were different. Even if you want to have a coffee, people say, go to Georgia, you will get a good coffee. Even if you want to have a vodka, people say, Russians are the best. Even if it's a chocolate, or watches, or leather, everything will have a separate country to proportion. But today it is not possible. Today it is proved that even the global product comes to a country like India. Even that Hollywood movie comes to India, if the movie is not success unless until if we don't customize to Dollywood, Sandalwood, Dollywood, Bhojpuri, or any woods, because we have multiple woods than Hollywood. Because we are doing, first we should believe ourselves. We are in a great country where, because the technology makes location become irrelevant. That's what yesterday Sridhar Vembuji, he never talked about more that, but if you see his case study, sitting at Tenkasi, he could able to compete global market. That is a classic example. So entrepreneurship, if you talk about, you could go to any belt, whether it's a Chandigarh or even that Kashmir, what he said, or go to Northeast, the people who make from the rose petal, they make cloth. They are not engineer at all. They have nothing to do with engineering. So I'm not against engineers. So entrepreneurship, nothing to do with engineering. If you have an engineering background, probably you may do better. That has become a value addition. If you go to Namakkal, Coimbatore, the people, they employ engineers. If you are a good engineer, we don't require it. In fact, that's what I still remember. I saw once, Ratan Tata's interview. One of the audience, they said, they think they are asking question to them. In fact, he doesn't know he has a factory in Bastar also. But he knows how much employment he gives, how much economy he had, how much GDP he contributes. That is what entrepreneurship is, something bigger. Same example, you will find it in Henry Ford also. Because the entrepreneurship is something bigger. But my request is all about, when you want to do entrepreneurship, would you like to do a small exercise? No? Not very small exercise. Would you like to do? Close your eyes. Have a normal breath from your abdomen 3 times. Normal, not Baba Ramdev and all. Yeah, slowly open your eyes. Slowly open your eyes. Raise your right hand. Rotate left to right 3 times. Right to left 3 times. Right hand. Right to left. Left hand. Right, left to right. Right to left. Both hands put together. Right to left. Left to right. Put your left hand down. Kindly keep right hand at your chin. Exercise got over. This is not a chin. This is chin. So in entrepreneurship, my story, you can clap it, nothing wrong. My story learning to you for the entrepreneurs. You will get thousands of people who will come and give many examples to you. Please apply your brain. Do your business, right? Don't divert from your focus, right? And when you are starting a business, be focused on your business and product. Please don't worry about whether I become a mini-con, Suni-con, Ekta-con, Deca-con. Even selling popcorn, you become a unicorn. That's my story. So focus on your product. Focus on that. Don't look on valuation. Unfortunately, today it's happening on that. If you want to become an entrepreneur, yesterday also we discussed, accept the failure. That's because in fact, if you accept, many companies today, they are accepting if you fail the entrepreneur, if you come to the business, the success ratio for that guy who recruits is better. It is proved. So accept the failure, do the business in reality, not in the valuation game, and definitely that uniqueness, that radical innovation, these all things it's add, because today business are in agile in nature. The conventional business may not work today. Accept the reality, connect with the trend, think for future, entrepreneurship becomes success.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas. So Dr. Unnikrishnan, I will share with you a quick experience of mine. So after many years in industry, I joined here to start a department of strategy and industry partnership. My vision was different, but when I joined, within few months, many of the faculty here came to me and said, Madam, UGC, AICT, they are all making internship compulsory. Now with your industry contacts, can you help us to get internship for students? So to one or two of them, I said, I am not an internship partnership, I am an industry partnership, but yes, what is your challenge? They said, see, this has been made compulsory to us, but many of the industries don't know it. They don't know that this is what has been mandated. And therefore, whenever we go to industry, they are not ready to entertain us. And especially, they are saying that if you give us 3 or 4 months, at least we are willing to, partner, because at least the person can spend some time to meaningful work. But if you are giving only 1 month or a few weeks, which recently UGC has announced, no industry is really interested, because in 2 or 3 weeks, what value is that person going to add? So now that you are in government, my sincere request to you is that since we are making a lot of new policies, when we are making or mandating something from academia, how could we also mandate and have industry as a partner to this decision? Because only when industry joins us, government, in making these decisions, then it will make it easier for academia to really take it forward. So what is your view on that?
Yeah, I would like to answer Madam's question in a different way. So this is my 26th year in teaching. Just I'm youngster to many of you who are sitting here. So we could broadly classify the academia into two phases, before 2010 and after 2010. So I would strongly advocate like the Sixth Pay Commission report when it came, that was the actual hitch on the overall technical education in the country. Before that, the teachers had ample time to speak to the students. They had ample time to spend with the students. Good dialogue was happening between the teachers and students. When the sixth pay came and the PhD things got mandated, that was the, as I believe strongly, it's not AICT's opinion, it is Ramesh Unnikishan's opinion, that was the day we started diluting the quality of technical education. The teachers don't have time to speak to each other because everyone is behind the rat race. When I'm completing my PhD, how many papers I have, whether it is in Scopus or SCI, whether I am filing any patent or not, the entire activity got diverted towards this direction. A very close friend of mine, who is a vice chancellor of a deemed to be university, I don't want to name the university. So he was just telling when the 100th faculty member of that university completed the PhD. So he arranged a big get together for the entire faculty and students as the 100th teacher completed the PhD from that university. And he took a small risk, like he asked all the PhD holders to speak what was their PhD work. And he was telling, apart from the person who presented, nobody understood what the other guy did. And he was laughing and telling, sir, 100 people presented for 3 minutes. Apart from the person who presented, nobody else understood. Even they might be very high acclaimed academicians, but nobody understood what they did. So, sir, now we are on to, by looking at the industry-academia collaboration, what AICT is trying to bring is that any PhD work or the student project or the MTech thesis or whatever a teacher or a student is doing in the campus, it should be in line with an industry, registered either with NASCOM or CAA or FICCI or whatever it be, or it should be related to a social problem. Or else this will just go on like the academic research will be boasted as the actual research, which is totally different. Academic research is only a pattern of activities, right? It's only a pattern of activity. Identify a good university where I could comfortably complete. There identify a guide who won't harm us. He will tell what this you can do, he will do. Finally, it will go to his own friends for evaluation, to foreign evaluators. Or I'm not talking about IITs and NITs, I'm talking about us. Okay, it will go to somewhere. Finally, he or she, the academic board will hear, however, the board recommends award of PhD. Then immediately former ISRO chairman will come for the convocation. That is, then the photo is framed in the drawing room. That is what the academic research. It cannot be correlated with the actual research, what research means. So we are actually on the job to see like a research work or an internship or a student project will be considered as a project only if an industry is a partner in it, and it could be accountable when it comes out. That's all.
Thank you.
How many people are having paper and pen right now on your hand? Do you have it? Most of them are teachers here. Can you draw the house, please? Just can you draw the house? If you have a paper and pen, can you draw the home or house? That's it. It's not a big exercise, sir. Please do it. Everybody has done it now? I think it takes fraction of a second. How many people have done it? Okay. Tell me, can you raise your hands? Just so you can see. How many people have done that? How many people drawn the house? Can you? Yeah. How many people made an house? Literally, typically with a triangle with a single door? How many people are staying in that type of home? Genuinely tell me. This is what our teaching is all about. We are teachers, we teach them, and nobody stays in that type of house with single door. How many people draw with double door? This is the reality. What we teach, what reality, teacher also do the same thing. Then how can you expect change will happen from the society?
So thank you. I'm already getting cues that people are waiting for lunch. So I think in a nutshell, if I have to wrap up this session, I think we got some very good ideas that maybe we should promote entrepreneurship. We should look at success stories, what has happened. We could look at making academia as experience centers, developing innovation portals, and most important is, I think, if faculty and it changes, embraces change and to make it, realistic and not really theory based, then we could bring about the change in students. And my firm belief is the more and more we encourage internships, right, not only in the final year, also even after first year or second year, more and more students will get exposed to what is reality outside, and then we can make entrepreneurs out of them. Because at least 10% of these students who do internships in industry will get the bug that, okay, what I'm studying and what is in industry is very different, and I want to do something different. So I think with these few words, I would like to wrap up and say thank you. Thank you to all the esteemed panelists here for spending their time, and also, which has delayed a lot. So apologies from our side, but thank you very much for all your time. And thank you everyone for patiently being here. And we can take this forward.
Conversation seamlessly. And my sincere thanks to all panelists who have shared their perspectives on this particular topic. I can safely say that we have managed to achieve the goal of this particular conversation on the given theme. So now, without taking much time, let me request our Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor V.N. Shekaran, Sir, to please come on the stage. To felicitate, okay. I need one more member here. I mean, may I request Manya Jay Kumar, the Chief Mentor, Bharat Tech Foundation, to please come on the stage to felicitate our esteemed panelists. Thank you, sir. I request all members to please stay here for a photo session. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. I think we have come to the closing part of this trio conclave. May I quickly request Siddharth Narayanan, sir, the founder director and national team member of Bharat Tech Foundation. He is also the co-founder of Ganastra Consulting, a social impact consulting firm. Thank you.
Thank you. From Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan to our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi sir's slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusandhan. India has come a long, long way. Honorable dignitaries, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good afternoon to all of you. In the Global Innovation Index, India moved from the 81st rank to 81st rank in 2015 to 40th rank in 2023. And we are indeed surging full steam ahead. Bharat Tech Foundation, in collaboration with the All India Council for Technical Education and Kirloskar Oil Engines, organized the first ever Trio Conclave 2024 at this grand institution, Somaya Vidya Vihar University. And this ushers in a new era for bringing industry, academia and R&D together so that we may make India leaders in innovation for social development. The conclave indeed included high-powered panels with industrialists, academicians and government leaders. The summary and the entire aspect will be shared, and video is also available on YouTube, so I'm not taking time for that. Bharat Tech Foundation is a global alliance of Indian engineers all over the world collaborating for nation building. Under the guidance of Manya A. Jayakumarji, our chief mentor, with inputs from leading Indian engineers, Bharat Tech Foundation was conceptualized in 2019, and coincidentally on April 2nd, in 2022, we were launched in AICTE. Bharat Tech Foundation has initiated a series of projects, including the Guru Shishya Mentoring Project and a global technology conclave in Dubai, among many others. The Trio Conclave is yet another flagship program of Bharat Tech Foundation, and today we see the successful fruition of the conclave. The primer and the output of the conclave will be mailed to all of you and after further discussions, and we would like to discuss in further and actually implement the solutions recommended. An effective conclave of this scale can only be made possible by a team of visionaries. We, Bharat Tech Foundation, express our gratitude to Sri Samir Somaya sir for readily accepting our request for collaboration and to be the patron of the conclave. Professor V. N. Rajshekharan Pillai sir, he readily accepted the responsibility of chairing our conclave. Ever since then, he was leading from the front and guiding all of us as one amongst us. In the name of formality, I extend a heartfelt gratitude. Thank you so much, sir. A point out of the script, he always has a solution for all our problems. The chief mentor of Bharat Tech Foundation does not need any special words of gratitude as he is a part of us. He is the heart and soul of the organization. In the name of formality, thank you, Mani Jayakumarji. This conclave was an event that was very close to the heart of the Director General of Bharat Tech Foundation, Sri Narayanan Ramaswamy. Right from the formulation to the initial concept until this moment, he has been leading from the front. In the name of formality, I thank you. One of the pillars of both Bharat Tech Foundation and the Trio Conclave, Dr. Ramesh Unnikrishnan, is a key player behind the successful execution of the conclave. I thank you so much. Professor Mohan B. Rao, sir. We got to know each other only for about a month. No, sorry, 65 days, as you rightly mentioned, to be exact. But today, yes. But the relationship developed as if we knew each other for a long, long time. He has been proactively acting on various fronts, constantly guiding us all throughout. And for the smooth execution and successful conduct of this program. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. From the basic conceptualizing of the paper to formulating the primer of the conclave, Sri Shiv Shuklaji. His role as team leader of the concept paper committee is commendable. Also as a team member of the program committee, and his contribution was impeccable. On behalf of Bharat Tech Foundation, I extend warm gratitude to you. Thank you so much. I have never seen a person bubbling with so much energy and always cheerful all the time as Dr. Srinivasan sir. As the program committee lead, he gave us proper guidance and confidence and action to get the right person for the right session. These efforts resulted in the successful outcome. Thank you so much, sir. Sri Nandakumar sir was the team lead of the exhibitions committee. In spite of the tough challenges, he extended his wholehearted cooperation for the smooth conduct of this program. Thank you so much. I extend a warm thank you, sir. Sri George Verghese sir has been one of the key members of the National Organizing Committee who provided active support and guidance throughout. And we are thankful to him for all this, as well as the support of Kirloskar Oil Engines for their sponsorship and guidance. A special mention to Dr. Suresh Ukrande sir. The principal of KJ Somaya College of Engineering, someone who was in charge of various committees that was instrumental in the laminar flow of this event. His team members, including Ms. Aparna Mandlik, Dr. Prasanna Shetty, and Dr. Manish Pote, to name a few, who worked tirelessly day in and day out, including the IT team and the PR team, ensured that the conclave runs smoothly, and for every request, they had a solid response which helped us run the conclave smoothly. On behalf of Bharat Tech Foundation, I extend hearty gratitude to Suresh sir and the entire team. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Exactly. He made the impossible possible. The conclave witnessed stalwarts from the industry, academia, and R&D institutions. Every single speaker, every single panelist, every single moderator contributed to the outcome of the program. And this is not about today, but 5, 10, 15 years for the development of Bharat. Thank you so much. I know your time is valuable. Thank you so much for your time.
Just 1 second, Siddharth, before we close. Please. So I remember my coffee with Siddharth at Jagannath Barakhamba Road, if you know the Delhi area. From there to have late night calls, to early morning calls, emails exchange, WhatsApp, I think we also must give a huge round of applause for him also. Thank you.
Let me also thank each and every member of the National Organizing Committee for their valuable contribution for the conclave. So thank you so much. Last, of course, it's never the least. Usually people say, without you, the conclave would not happen. I'm going one step further. The conclave's outcome depends on every single one here, every single delegate, every single attendee. I thank you so much for taking your time and giving us the valuable inputs that will help us in being a facilitator for a better India. A new beginning. No, this is not the conclusion. A new beginning, a new chapter. Bharat Tech Foundation is on its way to create a larger impact in the lives of people. In this tech aid, BTF is working to play an effective role in transforming the lives of people through technology. And I welcome each and every one of you to join us in this journey. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think with this we have come to a close. May the takeaways of this particular trio conclave change our future efforts. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. So may I request all of you to please stand up. We are going to have a national anthem. The audio. Should we start? Okay.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Bharat Mata ki. Thank you. Thank you very much. May I request all dignitaries to please come on the stage for a group photograph.